and welcome to The Sims 4. Today we are witnessing a speed build. Um, I know I haven't uploaded that much, and I feel really bad, but this speed build took me genuinely so long that I just kind of didn't end up doing anything. And I know I could have uploaded more Planet Zoo videos, but I didn't want to just do Planet Zoo. I wanted to bring some other stuff into my content, and I had this amazing vision for a house, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna build it. And it took me a lot longer than I thought it would because it's a very large home. So this is just me building that house and kind of just, messing about with the Sims. Basically what my idea was is you can kind of see back here that this pool area is in between two, a courtyard kind of a thing. There's that lot in Oasis Springs, which is also where I built this. There's that lot in Oasis Springs that's just a giant rectangle, and it goes around a little courtyard area. And I feel like that's really cool. And I had that idea, but around a pool. So I did attempt this multiple times, and this is kind of the best way that I figured was to do the pool, because I didn't want it to go all the way around because then it just ended up being a giant rectangle and it looked really weird. So this is what I ended up with. As you can see, I kind of struggled to do the back of not the back, the front of the house. It took me a very long time just to do the exterior, and you'll also see that I struggled to do the windows a lot because I wanted it to go with the rest of the houses in the area. So I make a lot of changes to the outside of the house until I'm perfectly happy with it, and honestly I'm not perfectly happy with it even now, but it's definitely a lot better than what it started out as. I think this house took me a total of 6 hours, I want to say, which I mean doesn't seem like a lot if you're just doing a speed build. I didn't have to talk or anything, but it was 6 hours across the span of multiple days because I've had work all week and all of last week. And last week I didn't really have any time to record a voiceover for any speed builds or anything. So that's kind of where we are with the reason that I have yet to upload a video for a week and a half-ish. And I do feel really bad, but here we are doing a speed build today. I'm very happy with this house, and kind of my idea with this house is that I want to start a legacy challenge and then eventually end up here. Maybe not at the end, but at some point I would want to end up here in this house because I really do like it. I think it's a nice house. It's very large. I think it ends up being I want to say 6-bedroom house. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's 6 bedrooms, and that is including, I think, 2 double bedrooms. So I think I have one that is a toddler room that fits 2 Sims, and then one that's a kid's room that fits 2 Sims. So you could very easily fit over 8 Sims in this house if you really wanted to. And some of the rooms are humongous, so you could split them into 2 rooms, and no one would bat an eye, I'm sure, because it is just a humongous house. It takes up pretty much the entire lot, edge to edge, honestly. I'm really happy with how the front pathway turned out. You're gonna see that in a little bit. And these back windows here, I absolutely love that top feature window. I think it looks gorgeous. Um, the mistake I made in this build is doing the windows before I did the floor plan, because the floor plan kind of ended up cutting off some of the windows, which I mean, it doesn't bother me too much, but I know it probably bothers some other people. And the figuring out the floor plan, honestly, was such a pain in the butt. I'm not even gonna lie. This floor plan, I struggled so incredibly much, so I to the point where I had to cut out what I actually did for the floor plan because it was taking me an hour just to figure out the floor plan on its own. Um, and the speed build is a little scuffed because as I was editing it, I was trying to put all the clips together, and it wouldn't for some reason speed up the last clip no matter how much I cut it down. So, I mean, I could have added it back in, I guess, but it was already being super slow and super laggy and stuff, so I was like, you know what, I'll just cut it out. I think it's I want to say 2 or 3 rooms, probably, that you won't end up seeing, but the third room is completely and utterly my fault. because I started recording and I built for, I want to say, like at least an hour, probably two. And then I realized that I had not updated my OBS to actually be recording The Sims, so it was just a black screen the entire time. So that made me feel lovely, obviously. Um, I like this pool area a lot. I know it's kind of like, yeah, but yeah, and I also really like the way that this pathway lines up with the outer pathway in this backyard. I mean, it's okay. I'm not obsessed with it by any means, but it's an okay backyard. I think I do end up moving the house over to make the backyard bigger. I like the furnishing that I did on the pool. Hopefully those fireflies work. I'm not sure if they will or not. We will see, I guess. I have no idea. But I tried to make the pool kind of fancy because it just seemed like it would be one of the fancier pools. And you can't get to the pool from like this back patio area. You have to go in through the two doors that are in the house, or no, the one door that's in the house. The two doors, they're the ones that lead to the back patio. But yeah, that door I believe ends up being, I don't even know. I think in the living room, I believe is where that door ends up being. I'm not entirely sure, but as you can see, it took me 800,000 years to do the outside, and I'm not even fully happy with it. I definitely think the landscaping could use some work. Yeah, also, I am fully aware that the lighting on this lot is kind of horrendous. I tried to figure out what to do, but I just wasn't able to. So yeah, you can see I'm working on the backyard here. I honestly did the backyard so long ago because this is the first I did. I didn't do the floor plan and then the backyard, like I honestly probably should have done. So I did the backyard first, and I think this is where I realized I had to move the house even further forward, which I kind of wanted to avoid. Um, but that way I could make like a side yard area, and it would make sense for it to line up and like have a little exit gate, and it made the backyard a little tiny bit bigger, which obviously I'm not going to complain about. The backyard has a lot of stuff to offer. I'm really happy with those two chairs. They look like they fit perfectly. I was going to put a fire pit, as you can see, but I didn't end up doing that. I like that little table and those two chairs, though. I think they go very well together, and there's just a stack of towels next to them. I think I end up putting a fireplace somewhere else, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, you can see I kind of fixed the backyard up a little bit because I wasn't loving the super long staircase. Um, and yeah, so I was gonna like add all the extra stuff and realized I should probably do the landscaping first, and the landscaping doesn't exactly match. And I was kind of lazy with it because, mind you, I did this all in one sitting, so I had already been building for like, I want to say 2 hours at least. Um, so yeah, that's kind of, I was just in a spot, I was like, I really don't want to be building anymore, I just want to get it over with. So I was building kind of quickly, which I mean, I do regret, but I still think the house looks really nice, and it does blend in with the other houses super duper well, to the point where I couldn't tell which one was mine the first few times. Like, I didn't register which lot I had put it on. So I was like, which house did I build? And which ones are the ones that are just in the game? I did make an attempt to go through debug and get some landscaping, but I honestly hated it. I was gonna put a car there. The car didn't really make sense, so I deleted it. Because the way that this path is, it doesn't like go out onto the street. It goes out onto like a crosswalk, so I don't know why there would be a driveway connected to a crosswalk, but you know, that's how the other houses had done it. So that's how I did it because I figured it would make sense that way, and I mean, it doesn't really, but it looks fine, so I left it. And then I tried to do something fancy with the landscaping right here. I don't love it, I don't hate it either, but it could definitely be better. I think this finishes up the landscaping. So then I just add some stuff to the outside that you can like actually use. I wanted a swing set under that tree, and I wanted a lot of kid things because, like I said, this is supposed to end up being like my legacy house that I end up in, I guess, and I really, really wanted it to have a lot of things for kids to do. And I wanted it to be prepared for when the kids exist, obviously. And then I think this pathway is honestly the last bit that I did. It took me a little while to get the pathway perfect, I'm not even gonna lie. And I kind of hate it. I was trying really hard to do some nice landscaping, and we don't have like a grass that matches this grass very well. We have one that's like slightly darker, but because it's slightly darker, it genuinely angers me. So I made an attempt. I definitely tried. Yeah, so as you can see, we're now in. The only part of the floor plan I think that I never changed is that little area, that room, and the size of that room. I never changed that, but I did change the orientation of the stairs many times. I changed where all the other rooms were many times, because I felt like it didn't make sense the way that I was doing it the first few times. I think it makes sense the way that it is now. I think the downstairs ends up being 2 bedroom, 2 bath, plus an office. And then the upstairs, I believe, is a 4 bedroom, 2 bath. So yeah, it ends up being 7 bedrooms, like 4 bathrooms, something insane like that. And you could have an extra bedroom if you really needed one, because there's an office space as well. Actually, I think the downstairs just ends up being 1 bedroom, 1 office. So you could have 7 bedrooms, which, like I said, is plenty to fit a whole bunch of Sims. And honestly, if you really wanted to, there's a space in here that you could 100% just dedicate to a bedroom. You'll see that in a little bit. But I kind of hate the entryway. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not my favorite that I've ever done. I guess it's not my least favorite either. I was just struggling to figure out how to furnish it because I put everything I wanted in it and then it was empty still, and I was like, huh. So I like went through, tried to find some plants. Plants didn't really work out. So I ended up kind of moving some stuff. As you can see, I was playing with that tree. It didn't end up working, but I like, I don't know. I started this entryway with that light, the pendant light, because I feel like it fit really well. And then as you can see, I was going to add a whole bunch of plants right there. And I kind of hated them. I don't think, yeah, no, I didn't keep it there. The plants might stay, but that hanging plant had to go. It was horrendous. And there was not one rug that fit the way I wanted it to, so I kind of just had to suck it up and, change it a little bit. Uh, yeah, this little feature, the blue mirror thing that's right there, I absolutely adore it. I think it fits so well. Um, it probably, I mean, this house is a lot fancier than what it looks like, right? So I feel like this isn't stuff that they would have necessarily in their entryway, but it filled the space well. And I mean, it made sense for a normal family a little bit. So yeah, that back wall is very covered, and then the other walls are very empty. The main wallpaper that I chose in this house was yellow. I think this is the only room that stayed yellow, though. The flooring is the same in every room except for the, whatchamacallit, the bathrooms, obviously. And then this kitchen, I honestly, is like the most cluttered kitchen that I've ever done. I usually do not care about adding clutter to my kitchens, but I was like, this is going to be a legacy house. Maybe I should care about adding clutter. So I did add quite a bit of clutter. You'll see that shortly. I do end up really liking this kitchen. It's like a blue themed kitchen and then also a blue themed dining room because they're in the same room, so I didn't want to change colors. And I really liked it because of, I put effort into it and it was really nice. And I just really like the Dream Home Decorator stuff. Like all of it, I absolutely adore. And I feel like it made the space look really nice. And I like actually used some objects that I've never used before. I made sure to put stuff on top of the fridge. I did so much. And for what? Literally nothing. There's a little toaster on the top there. And yeah, I don't know. I really like this space. Oh, and then I found that item and I was like, that would be perfect in the entryway. So I did move it to the entryway and I kind of touched up the entryway there. I wanted to have the whole space kind of split up, and then I hated that idea, so I deleted it, as you saw. And like I said, it's kind of a family, not a family, well, it is a family home. So I wanted to make sure that there were plenty of things for the family, And these pendant lights are literally my favorite lights to use with the Dream Home Decorator stuff. I always do that. I'll do the Dream Home Decorator cabinets, and then I'll make a like an island, and then I'll put those pendant lights above it because I feel like they just go so well together. The majority of the stuff that I used in this room, as you can see, is Dream Home Decorator, which I absolutely would never even slightly question because I absolutely adore that pack. I think a lot of the objects that came in it are super amazing. One of the issues I had with this home is that I felt like all of the walls were always super, like, dull and just not really doing anything, you know? Like, I felt like all of them were empty, and if they were empty, it was an issue, because I felt like the house looked not lived in. So I tried really hard to fill up most of the walls with stuff. I really also do love this living space, honestly. It took me a while to get which couches and stuff I wanted to use because I wanted like that dark rusty red color, but not a lot of couches come in the exact same version of that. As you can see, the two couches that I did end up with are different colors, but I felt like they were close enough and that I had matching items for the two separate ones, so as long as we stuck to red, I felt like it would be okay. I honestly might end up changing that couch. I'm not entirely sure if I left it or not. We will see in the future, I suppose. But yeah, I put the TV on top of the fireplace because I feel like that made sense, and it took me a while to find like a working lamp that would make sense in the space. But I feel like I did it really well. And that rug literally ties in every color on every couch so well because it's blue and gray and red, and that is like the only colors that I used in the space. So that rug I felt like was absolutely perfect. And then we have this really big empty space behind the living room, and I was like, oh god, what do I do with that? So I just made it kind of like an animal area. It still looks a little bit empty in my opinion, but I did what I could. I couldn't see myself putting anything else in this area, honestly. I mean, I suppose I could try, but I have a very closed off floor plan here just because I had to. If it was super open, the house would look way too big, um, because of the combination of, like, just the really big house and, like, I used medium walls, I think. I might have used tall. I'm not entirely sure. But, yeah. I really like this space. The wine poster or picture or whatever, it looks fabulous. And I love that wallpaper. I think it came with the paranormal kit. Not the kit, the stuff pack, I believe, is what it came with. And I absolutely adore it, and most of its swatches. I've used it as like the blue swatch that it has is really nice, and I've used it as a full like house swatch before. So I felt like the white, made sense. I didn't want to do something too dark because the furniture was already pretty dark. And then you'll see me here doing the bathroom, and again, I never put any clutter in my bathrooms. These bathrooms, I spent so much time on most of them. The last bathroom and the first bathroom, I probably spent the least amount of time on. The ensuite, which you will see eventually, is the one I spent the most on. And I did end up trying to duplicate that bathroom, and it kind of didn't work out, so I just had to make them different. And now we are moving on to the office space over here. And honestly, if I'm entirely honest with you, right, I really do not like it. I kind of hate how it's laid out. I was thinking about going in and changing literally everything because I genuinely despise how it's laid out. But I don't know. I felt like, it didn't need to be perfect. I feel like that rug is a major part of the problem. I might have ended up changing that rug off camera. I'm not entirely sure. I totally probably did, honestly. Um, and I do apologize also, this video is a little too sped up, but because I had so much footage, I had like 6 hours of footage, doing 8 times, the video still would have been like 45 minutes long without me touring you around the house. So I opted to go 12 times speed, and it does end up being kind of too quick. I'm not even gonna lie. But I did what I could. This is a random teen bedroom. As you can see, that bedroom over there, that's master. That's the bedroom I was talking about that you didn't see, and then there's one downstairs that you also did not see. Again, completely and utterly my fault on that end, but we are coming to the end of the speed build part. I think this is the either last or the second last room that you will see me build, but do not worry, I will tour you around the whole thing because this video is super scuffed and I apologize for that. It's completely my fault. So, yeah. Here we have the, I don't know, it started out just being a green room and then I found that rug and it was green and blue. So I was like, okay, I have to add blue. So I tried to find as many blue posters as I possibly could, or like blue and green posters that I could add to the room so that it would have more blue in it. Did it work? I don't really know. I don't love this room, but I also don't hate it. I think the wallpaper turned out pretty good. I don't remember. That's the swatch of that wallpaper that I love. But I didn't end up using it in here because it looked way too busy. Like that, just, it clashed way too much for me. So instead I found the spa day paneling, and I just did one accent wall of the hexagons, and that's all I did. You're gonna see part of the toddler room, like, I don't know, I'll place probably like 4 or 5 items, and then it's just gotta cut off. Again, my fault. But, because that is the end of the speed build, I'm going to head on over to the actual game now, and we will give you a tour. Alright, so I did build the lot in Oasis Springs, as you can see. This is the lot that I used, and like I said, it does blend in pretty well with the other houses, and I'm so incredibly proud of that. We shall now do a nice little tour, and then we will call the video quits, and like I said, I am very sorry for not uploading for the past like week and a half. This is the house from the outside. Like I said, the lighting on this lot is horrendous. I'm really happy with how it ended up. 2 things that you didn't see me build are I put some lounge chairs on this balcony up here, and then I also set up this balcony this way as well. I'm not super proud of it, but I don't hate it either. The landscaping is the same as what you saw in the video, but I'll do like a little tour of it. So you start with the front of the house in this like driveway space. And then if you follow this wraparound porch that we have at the bottom, nothing's there. I probably could have put some stuff there, but I didn't. And then if you go into the backyard, we have all of the little kid stuff that I wanted to have just so that, you know, when we do end up having children, it'll be fine. We have this really nice space out here that has a fire pit, and I really like the way that this part particularly turned out. And then we also have the pool, which I have yet to see in live mode, so I'm hoping all of this works well. But yes, let's enter the home now. So the overall shape of the home is pretty strange. I will give it that, but you pop on into the entryway. I did end up changing this rug, I guess, and I don't think that's something you saw on camera, and I changed the color of this mirror as well, because I felt like it looked a little bit better the way that it is now. I don't think I did anything to change the plants at all. I think everything else is as it was in the video. And then if you go to the right here, this is the living space, which you did in fact see me build as well. So you have a pretty decent idea of how this space is set up. I really love this living room. This is probably one of my favorite living rooms I have ever built. I feel like it all just fits really well together. This is a pretty plant-heavy home, which I will definitely admit to. And then obviously we have this like animal area. I did change the decals that I had on the wall. I think you saw that in the time-lapse. And then we have this mural on this wall, which, I mean, it doesn't make a bunch of sense, but it matches, so I'm fine with it staying there. And then this wine glass as well. Out this door is just the area that you saw previously, but that's how you get in the pool. And then if you pop into this archway, we have the kitchen slash dining space, which I'm also very, very proud of. I love the way that this wallpaper looks with the blue in here, and this is like the most cluttered kitchen I have ever done. The only thing I did off camera, I think I did off camera, is I just did a blue swatch of this, and I did a blue full swatch of this. That's all I changed. But yeah, this kitchen, I absolutely love it with my entire heart. And then, if we go into this archway, we have the office, which, like I was saying in the voiceover, I did end up changing this rug. I think it looks a lot better now. It's a lot more cohesive, in my opinion. I still don't like how it's just like everything is sprawled out, but you know, it is what it is. And then we have this bathroom, which you also saw me build as well. It's pretty standard, it's just a bathroom. And then if we go the opposite direction, this is, I really struggled with what to do in this area specifically. And then I was like, you know what, I can do like a gaming room den type deal, because the 2 bedrooms we have down here, we have a guest bedroom, which you totally didn't see me build. This is one of the ones that you didn't see me build. I'm very happy with how it turned out, to be fair. This is kind of like a grandma suite bedroom, guest bedroom kind of a deal, and I'm so incredibly proud of the way that it is. So I guess I have 2 green bedrooms, which I did not mean to do, but here we are, alas. But yeah, this is like a gaming room, storage room kind of a thing. I put the Christmas decorations here, put one of these bubble blowers from City Living, the giant screen, Don't Wake the Llama, and then just some beanbag chairs and stuff like this, and it's very pink and blue. It's completely different than the other rooms that we have done in the house thus far up to this point. It's so much brighter, but overall I really do like it. And then we have another bathroom, which you didn't see me build, but it's basically identical to the other one. I mean, not the layout, but like I used the same stuff and the same clutter. There is supposed to be a sink here. There was a sink here at one point. I don't know where it's gone, but I will plop that back in, I guess. It's not going for some. Hello? Is there a reason? I genuinely have no idea why it's not working. Okay, BB.move objects is now on. Can I place it? Okay. It's probably, okay. Well, there's a sink now. There was a sink originally, but I guess it disappeared. But yeah, that's the bathroom. And then we have this other bedroom, which you also did not see me build, because again, my fault. But this is like a more teen bedroom. I love the way that it's laid out. I love the colors. I love everything about it. I've always dreamed of being able to do this, like have a bed and then put a couch at the foot of it, and then a TV. I love this bookshelf and this chair. I just love this whole entire room, honestly. It is amazing, and I love it, and I use that same wallpaper, but in the pink swatch, because I feel like it fit. And I feel like a lot of the wall stuff that I put in here makes a lot of sense as well. Yeah, I just overall really like this room, and they have an exit out to the balcony, which I thought was pretty nice. So does the office over here as well. Those are where the 2 exits ended up being. But if you take a gander upstairs, the actual hallway itself is just still this yellow color, and it's very empty. I don't really have enough space to put anything anywhere. I probably will add a railing here, because that is something I forgot to do. But we'll just take this little door here. It's just a bathroom. This is the shared hallway bathroom. It's a little bit different than the ones that are downstairs. I didn't realize the bathtub was made of wood, but oh well. It has a different tile and a different wall tile as well, but you know, it is what it is. And then at the end is the kids' bedroom. It is very busy in here, which I'm totally fine with because it's a kid's bedroom. We kept the original yellow walls for most of it, and then did this like blue and yellow dot moment. I put the tent in here, I gave them a desk to do homework, did some posters on the wall for both of them, and then one of these 2 tables and a bookshelf as well, and then their dressers are just under the 2 beds. I know for gameplay you don't really need 2 dressers, but I felt like 2 dressers made more sense. And then the room over here, which is bigger than the kids' room, is the toddler room. Obviously, I'm hoping you can tell that this side is purple and pink, and this side is orange. The orange side I built first. You did see a few items get placed there, but I did this wallpaper on these 2 walls, and then I did the purple wallpaper on the other 2 walls. Both of them do include dinosaurs, so I feel like they kind of match. Not perfectly, but well enough that I'm not too bothered by it. And I think I did a really good job with this orange section over here. super busy and super fun, which is exactly what I expect in a toddler room. I gave them a mirror for no reason, but they do have a mirror. My idea is that they mostly share everything that's in this room, but like, depending on what side of the room it's on, it's orange or purple. That was my idea. And I feel like it kind of makes sense because I didn't want to have to do two dressers, 2 beds, 2 bookshelves, and all of that. So I didn't. But yeah, their dresser's over here. They have a Blarfy. I think the other one might have they have a Blarfy as well. And then we have a bookcase, a toy box, one of these tables, and then another side table that has 2 tablets on it for the toddlers and a dollhouse as well. Pretty happy with how that turned out. And then if you go over here, this is that green room that you saw me build. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. I don't love it, I don't hate it. And then they have access to this balcony. I know a teenager would not need a grill, but I wanted to put a grill somewhere, so I put one up here because I forgot to put it anywhere else. But yeah, at the very end of building this room, you saw me kind of put this hexagon wall in. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't hate it, I don't love it, but it is what it is. And then at the very end of the hallway, we get to the master bedroom, which is very black and white because I kind of wanted the only color in here to be from plants or the wall. So I'm obsessed with how I set this all up. I absolutely adore this bedroom and all of the plants that are in it. There are so many plants everywhere. I really like this little space here. I really like the way that I set up this like second living area because they had enough space for it. And I don't know. I'm not too happy with how I did this area, but you know, it looks fine. And then they have access to this balcony that just has the 2 lounge chairs on it. But they also have, I don't know if that's in their room or not. That was meant to be in the master, but I had to change the floor plan, so I will. But in the master, there is a second door over here, which is just their ensuite bathroom, which, oh my goodness, has the most clutter I've ever put in a bathroom. Ever. There's a toddler potty in this one because I feel like the parents are probably going to be who trains the toddlers the most. There's one of these like shower caddy thingies. There's this wicker basket because it has towels in it, and I felt like it fit. They have a giant tub and a shower. And then they have, I was going to make this a 2-sink kind of deal, but I had to do an end cabinet right here so that I could put a trash can and a shower, and then it would work. So I just put some additional clutter on there. And I am in love with the way that I did this room. I don't know. I really like this bathroom. It's really nice. I've tried to keep it mostly black and white as well. I felt like this rug fit really well in this specific spot. So that's where it ended up going. Because I just feel like it makes sense, because it kind of, you know, has that shape to it. But that is the entire legacy house that I will eventually use one day on YouTube or off YouTube. Who knows? But if you did watch this video and enjoy it, make sure to press all the buttons that I'm sure you're familiar with by now. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye. As you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.